Hey everybody, welcome back to another, I guess, anatomy class. Tonight we're going to be learning to draw the female form. And my cohorts, my handler, the man, the myth, legend, Nelly Dusty Pants, he is not really at my side, but in my heart and my mind, he is right next to me. He is at the Buzz Cave. I am in the bunker in North Carolina. We'll get started. I'm glad everyone's here. What we're going to do is we're going to go through last week's homework, talking about the pros and the cons, what everyone's been doing and such like that. I'm going to start getting harder on homework. So there you have it. There you are, Mr. Nelly, Mr. Dusty Pants. Do you have the homework that you can show so we can go through this?
Yep. The first one is a submission from Nineveh, or Andrea. That's her real name, it looks
Andrea.
like. But her screen name I can't really pronounce.
Rock the hell on, man. Andrea, I love what you did. Okay, here we go. I'm going to look at the naked dude first. The muscle, the forms. You have beautiful, the forearm muscles, the brax. You have the bicep, the tricep definition. Deltoid looks great. I see the three striations, the middle, inner, and outer head. The pectoral range is spot on. The abdominals, even the gluteus maximus, that is your butt muscles. Brilliant. And I loved how you reversed it and put clothes on this guy. And if you look closely at the gesture, his hand, it is a brilliant representation. Because in comic books, a lot of times I'll be asked to draw covers. I love covers because, you know, you can really zoom in and put lots and lots of detail and stuff. But I just did it was a 10-page anthology thing. Was not asked to do the cover. Bullocks for that. But a lot of times the panels are so small, you can't go in there, depending on the camera angle, putting lots of detail in. So I say that to say that your hand right there with the gesture, I can tell there's a thumb, those are where the fingers are supposed to be. And when you're drawing comic book action poses like that, you don't need to really put tons and tons of detail. You need to recognize it as a hand. And again, I say we draw what we see, and we have to understand human form because we see it all the time. But what I'm showing you is not photorealistic, because even the most beautiful of models, like cream skin, long hair, the neck, I'm a neck person, I like to bite the neck. If you look closely, you're going to see lines on people's faces. You know, they smile. It's what happens. And as an artist for comics, even for concept art, for video games, we try to stay clear from those things because the more lines you put into a face, the more aged and weathered they look. So we don't want to put all that heavy detail onto photorealism. So with that, Miss Andrea, well done. I like the indication of the hand. And your male form, spot on. And I really want to point out as well the line with variations. If you look at the arms compared to the back, or let the tips and the dorsi meet and come down to the trunk of the body, it is a good, solid read. It's not one line width all the way around. It makes it a boring read. You did a very good job in cutting into the model. So well done. 2 thumbs up. Got a gold star. Mark that down, Nelly Dusty Pants. Gold star to Andrea.
Sounds good.
Brilliant.
Next up, we have a Mr. Dimple. There's 3 submissions, and this one was the first.
All right. Your forearm here, it would be his right, but looking on the screen left. Way too skinny, my friend. I can tell you got some armor going on. It's a pretty good read. It's very sketchy, very kind of cartoony. I'm glad you've got a torch and you used some color and stuff like that. But we really need to look. The shoulder needs to be a lot higher up. It looks like it's dropped down. The shoulder needs to be where the shoulder's at. I'm not for sure that's supposed to be the bicep and tricep. You know, one hell of a good render, a good try. So keep up the good work. And I'm glad you put some clothes on him. I'm anxious to see the next 2. Go ahead, Mr. Nelly.
All right, his second submission is this.
Nice, not bad at all. You know, you really got to watch out for your bicep. And the reason, you know, I'm throwing this terminology out, this is several classes into anatomy and physiology. You should be familiar with the deltoid and the bicep is at. Bicep is a little bit, it's deformed. It almost looks like it's being flexed. It needs to be a little more elongated. In a straight pose like that, he's standing at attention. You wouldn't see that big of a bulge. And again, I always tell everybody, even if you want to work out, and you do work out, your arm's big, the tricep, the back of the muscle, that is always going to be the biggest muscle. Tri meaning 3, so you have 3 muscles in that muscle group. Bi meaning 2. You only have 2 muscles in that particular group, so work the tricep out. With that said, the tricep needs to be a little bit bigger, but it's a human form, and I'm really proud of you for that. So keep up the good work. What's the next submission, sir? Okay, same guy without color. I can tell it's a human form. It almost looks like you're drawing clothes on beforehand because the lower part of the abdominal, and you know what, seriously, I taught aerobics before I did the Taibo thing, and I was a fitness instructor, martial arts instructor. And everyone's like, yeah, work out the lower anatomy of your belly. Well, actually the stomach is only one solid muscle. There's no one lower abdominal muscle. With that said, your lower abdominal muscle, it's cutting in and it looks like he's got pants on him. So again, we really need to draw a nude type of figure, draw through everything before we start to render clothes on them. That will give you a better read. Your kneecap, not bad. It looks like my arm when I did that zombie movie and I took like 18 hits to the head and my elbows swollen up. Kind of watch that, but otherwise you did 3 good submissions and I look forward to seeing what you do in the future. All right, next.
All right, next up we have a Moonchild. Whoops.
My Liebchen.
Wait a sec. Do we have a Moonchild, or did I completely fail? Ah, here it is.
I really have to sneeze right now, so if I have to sneeze, I will try to take the headphones off and we'll cut that out. Moonchild, was magst du so eben, my friend? It's alles gut hier. Ich habe an adult drink. It's good. All right, Moonchild, let's look at this. The guy in the middle, your sternum, where the chest meets, it's poking out, almost looks broken. So we've got to watch that. I know you've got a lot on your plate right now. With as big as his forearms, the brachial muscles are in the forearms, you need to make the deltoids a little bit bigger to compensate for that, unless we're drawing like a Popeye sort of character. Your gastrocnemius, the back of your calf muscles, brilliant, good kneecap. Again, he's either an elf or an orc. The guy on the far right on the screen looks very much orc-like, a bit more heavy sets. I love what you did with the legs. Really well done. Your pectoral range looks a lot better right there. So not a bad job at all. And again, like Andrea was doing, the first person we've seen, all Moonchild did was give indications of the hand. You can see a bit of the thumb and where the knuckles are at. You don't have to go in there and draw each individual fingers and the knuckles. I mean, unless the shot calls for it, where you're doing like a foreshortening thing where the hand's really up in the camera. And, you know, I hope to go through that, some dynamic poses towards the end of the class. But not a bad job, Moonchild. Very well done.
Alrighty, next up we have a Mr. Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis, what's up, baby? Well, Mr. Ray, how the hell are you doing tonight? I know you're in there someplace. We got lots of people in class tonight. All right, let's start from the left to the right. That would be my left, your left, looking at the screen. I'm thinking of black jelly beans for some reason right now, if I'd throw that out there. Deltoids, you separated them out, inner, outer, middle layer, brilliant. Your tricep, brilliant, very well done. Tricep, again, is going to be the bigger muscle. Pectoral range, stomach muscle. That first guy looks really good. Looks like he's on his tiptoes. So when you do renderings, make sure, or, you know, something to watch. Because tonight, believe it or not, whenever we do the female anatomy, we're going to talk about the feet. When I draw females, they're on the balls of their feet. It helps elongate the legs. And something when we draw females, we really need to draw long, smooth lines. So with that, let's go to the middle guy. Middle guy, very elongated. Again, you're so used to the Aletheans being that long. You hit the hands where the legs need to be, or the mid-thigh they need to be. That's the exact placement. His torso is a bit too elongated. That torso needs to be down a little bit more. But I love what you did with the hair. I like what you did with the face. His trapezius muscles, again, throwing out terminology hopefully everybody already knows. It looks like Mr. Ray actually did image planes. I'm working from the middle guy to the far right guy, and I'm picturing lines go to where chin to the shoulder, where the deltoids are at, to the biceps and stuff like that. Mr. Ray, you're doing a good job. Again, you are a Renaissance man. Keep the good fight up. So next, Mr. Nelly.
Next up, we have 2 submissions from Mr. Miguel.
Miguel! Look at that beard he's got going on, and not a bad rendering, man. I can see this as a game dude, like some sort of ex-military thing. I really like how you textured the hair. We've not even gone over hair yet. Again, let's look at the deltoids. The shoulders look good. The hands are in the proper placement, right by mid-thigh. Your pecs look great. You got the stridations in there. You even threw in a little bit of the back muscle. And I'm pleased with that because it gives it dimension. Somebody that thick and that athletic would have bigger rommels in the back. We've not gone over the back yet, but well done. The crotch area. Yeah, I said crotch. Did you at least smile, Nelly, for that? Did you go, do you smile?
No, I don't smile.
Damn it. All right, well, anyway, the trunk, the crotch area. It almost looks like he has a lower bit of body fat that he's like putting some Spanx on. And here's my man card, Mr. Nelly, for knowing what Spanx are. Sucking the gut and stuff. So you got to watch the bulge. Oh, that sounds bad. Watch the bulge. You can poke an eye out with that, mind you. That would be my only complaint with that. Your knees, the muscles in the knees, brilliant. I love how you gave some really great accents of the legs for the rectus femoris muscle, and you even threw in drawing a blank here. The vastus externus muscle. Again, just small indicators, but you can tell this guy's athletic. So well done. His flatter feet, he's a soldier's attention, and you gave detail to the face. Well done. Watch the bulge. Next.
Second is another Miguel.
Holy crap, Mr. Miguel, look at that. That's a really cool design, actually. I like that. I like the face. I love the shoulder pads. In your arms, it would be on our screen, the left arm, the bicep. It is cut the wrong way. It needs to actually be almost mirrored over. It needs to wrap around and meet where the brachial muscles are at. But I also understand you have a big armor plate there as well. Not bad. The feet are a little bit short. They need to come up a little bit more. And if you're going to draw armor, okay, again, I'm going to be hard on you guys. I'm doing it with love, but if that's going to be armor, I want to see how the armor forms. And in the next class, the next class, the fantasy art class that I'll be doing, we're going to talk a lot about armor, how it's going to wrap around. You need to see straps. It's an indication of armor. That's good. But if it's going to be a shin plate, I need to see straps on that thing. Otherwise, well done. It's a good pose. I'm glad you put a cape on there. And again, the next class coming up in 3 or 4 weeks for the fantasy art class, we're going to go over cloth. We're going to go over facial construction with beards and hair. I've got a lot of requests on how you draw eyes and how you draw hair. And we got a lot of work ahead of us at 3D Buzz, but some great stuff coming up that we'll be able to help out with all that. So keep up the good work. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of you also. Miguel is the latest to join my MMO art team. He's doing some very cool creature designs, and everybody here is more than welcome to show up for the MMO class. I teach on Wednesday nights, 9 Eastern, and we're going over creature concepts to accent and complement how we're going to piece together armor at the moment. So that said, what is the next victim, sir?
The next final victim is Mr. Wolf, but he did not actually submit it. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into him so he can show it to you.
Roger that. Mr. Wolf.
Hello.
What's up, baby?
What's up?
What's up with you? What's up? I was watching The Office last night, alone most of the time, but what's up? Man, you again are coming this leaps and bounds from where you're at. And I'm not saying that to be insulting. It's just I'm anxious whenever we get through this. I want you to show everybody where you're at even like 2 months ago compared to the end of the class. Your line weight is beautiful. It's nice. It's clean. The pectoral muscles are great. I can see the indications where the ribs are at. And that sounds silly, but the guy has a nice butt, obviously modeled after me. And again, before, I think it was Miguel, the crotch, the trunk area. excuse my French. That's how, when I draw these guys, because I don't want to draw the junk and all that stuff, right? I make them flat like Ken from Ken and Barbie. But that's a good indication. Then you draw the nude figure like that, then we can draw all sorts of armor on it, almost like a paper doll effect. Everything looks great, really well done. The jawline is nice and strong. The eye placement, because I always ride you on eye placement, is great. The strap muscles in the neck, nice indicators there. Really well done. Very proud of you.
Thanks. I kind of think that the ear should have been a little bit taller.
The what? Oh,
Yeah.
Well, seriously, again, I tell everybody to do this, and I'm doing it with you. If you touch the corner of your eye and bring your finger back to the ear line, maybe a little bit taller, but not much taller. He looks like a good human.
And I was thinking that up here, this part of the leg should be probably wider. Looks a little thin.
Well, believe it or not, the weird thing about this is my wife and I just had this discussion. We're on the couch watching TV, and I'm like laying all over, and I'm like, I have chicken legs, don't I? She's like, no, you don't have chicken legs. I'm like, I have curly legs. She's, no, they're very muscular, mind you. But usually, a lot of guys in the gym, especially, they will work their upper body like crazy. They kind of look like bulldogs. But if you have that V shape, that very athletic shape, now you can make your quadriceps. That's what the muscle group that you're talking about. You could have made it a little bit wider. But this guy's lean and athletic. It really depends on what concept you're going for, or more important, what your art director has told you to do. So you can play around with it, but really, really well done. Spot on.
All right, thanks.
Well done.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and jump into Derek, because that looks like that is all the submissions that I received.
Sorry, you're seeing my Facebook screen. Facebook me, everybody. Yay, Derek. All right, hey. Again, this is going to be our last kind of recap of male anatomy. This is actually a card I did a couple of nights ago for Heavy Cat Studios, and, I believe in killing two birds with one stone. So far, all we've done is drawing a male in the upright pose, forward and sideways. And what I really wanted to do was illustrate, because this guy is very, very exaggerated. I got an art order. I needed to make a barbarian. And, they're not very specific. He just needs to look like a barbarian with a big-ass club. Henceforth, the club is there, and he's a big-ass barbarian. But let's break this thing down. As you can tell, I got a new layer on, so I don't muck up the original, even though it's saved, but just in case I need to go back to it. And let's look at this. I got my blue pen created, or ink, and I'm going to take my opacity down to, say, 48%. And what I'm going to do here is kind of break things down for you. Even in this pose, okay, that obviously needs to be a bit darker. Let's do 75. And I'll even put my brush up a little bit more. You can tell here where my deltoid muscle, this whole thing through here, deltoid muscle. Now ideally, because he's very stylized, his head's small, but from here to here should be about one head length long. Doing my little circle here to indicate where the elbow is going to go. From here to here, another head length long. From here to here, where his hand's going to go, another head length long. So what I'm going to do is my tricep comes back here, kicking pretty hard. Bicep is elongated right through here. It won't be big and bulky like that because it's not flexed. So it is elongated, and the brachial muscles come in through here. Now it's hidden because it's got this armor plating right through here. And I put my elbow through here and a bit of the back muscle. And what I did to the head, again, let's zoom into the head. Coming in here, all the head is, we've done profile shots before. So my head starts out with a simple circle. And I can bring it down like this. The jawline's that, and the ear's that like that. So if you zoom back, again, a very small head. Neck muscles through here. Actually, trapezius muscles will come all the way up back through here. and a bit of a pictorial range right through here. So if I thought to keep my original, you would have seen all this sketch work. Now what we can't see, I'm going to do a red ink through here, is where his crotch is at. Ideally, the crotch area is going to come through here, and then we can start to see where the leg is at. Coming down here to where the patella, the kneecap is at. The gastrocnemius comes through here. And again, drawing through from here to here, that's where his other hip would be. Coming back down here to the patella, gastrocnemius, and where the foot and all that comes down here like this. And you don't really see the bones in the foot or the ankle bone because he's got these big boots on. And then on the other side, the shoulder would be through here, so it would be drawn through here like this. And his arm, elbow would come through here like this. And that's where you start to see some of the indicator of where his hand is at. And then we have this big club in through here. And all I did with the hand, literally, is make a square like this. And because he's a barbarian, and again, this is very stylistic, I wanted him to have huge hands, that he's powerful. And that even if he drops his club for some reason, he can grab a hold of you and squeeze the life from your head. So small indicators of where everything's at. I guess I could have actually put the thumb in here like that. And that is how this rendering started. I made just lots of circles and shapes. And later on in like the last 1 or 2 classes, we're going to go over dynamic forms because I really want to give you guys the tools to build something instead of just image planes or something straight and static, but form and flow. It's very, very, very important. All right, so before we move on, I want to see if there's anybody who has any questions, Mr. Nelson.
I do not see any.
Anybody in BuzzNet?
No, they're pretty silent. I mean,
must
there's
be doing
a couple things, but no questions.
Must be doing something right. All right. Here's a card I did today. I got an art order, again, from Heavy Cat. And all I really wanted was the flag. And this is like a pirate game. And there's like no way I can only draw a flag. I'm like, I have to draw a hot chick before, just because pirates are cool. And, you know, you have all this nice stuff around this area here, the nice tight stomach. But I wanted to show you this because this is what I built it off, was this female form I had here, and actually put a dagger in her hand. So with that said, another part of the anthology page, what I'm going to do is break this down really quickly for you guys and gals, the way I would draw it normally. And then we're going to go step by step where you guys will follow along on how to do stuff like this. But I want to kind of show you my workflow. Again, this is Photoshop. This is my background. I put a layer on top of it so I can draw on it and discard it if I need it. Going back to my old comic book days, doing everything with blue, non-photo blue. That's what I'm going to choose to do. Make sure this is good. Okay. For this alien chick, she's a human, but obviously she's alien. This is her power stone, yada, yada, yada. I always start out with the base of the body through here. Then I come down here to where I want the stomach to go. And the hips of a woman are a lot different than a man. And we're going to go over that in detail here shortly. So I have this body and the trunk through here. I'll do this little belly button. My deltoid region through here. And again, proper measurement is from here to here is 1 head length long. So from here to here equals here to here. Draw my elbow. From here to here, another head length long. Deltoid muscle through here. Again, from here to here. But I threw some foreshortening in, which we've not gone over yet. But again, if you look from here to here, it's almost a half a head length long that I come through here and just make small indicators where the fingers are going to go at. And again, I'm a neck person, love long necks. I'll come in here, this is a 3/4 view, so I always start out with a plane like this. Come in through here like that. And then indicate where my eyes and my mouth are going to go. And the clavicle bones are very, very important. And I'm not saying this to be racist, or I guess not racist, sexist, I guess is the meaning. Because, you know, there are heavy people in comics. I actually have in our order to draw a voluptuous, somewhat plump female ranger. That's cool. But the majority work that I do, my females have very low body fat. And the clavicle, let me get a red, right through here. Right by the deltoid, and you have a small V where the other deltoid comes in through. When you see that, it's an indication of low body fat. It means they're most athletic. So that's why I put that in there. My latissimus dorsi comes through here. It's not popping big like a dude. If you look through here, very much a cylinder, cylinder, cylinder through here. And the biggest thing with women you have to understand is it is long, smooth lines. With a guy, we can get away with if right here was his arm. You know, I can etch in deltoid, bicep, forearm, where the elbow's going to go, where the tricep, bicep break, and where the pectoral's going to go. I can etch this stuff in. That's no problem. Put the thumb down here, 1, 2, 3, and real quick arm, no problem. But the female, and this is the thing, this is why we started out with males first. I really believe it's easier to etch in things and to get really good high-end hand-eye coordination for understanding where the anatomy goes before we start here. Just like the legs are long. It's a nice smooth line all the way down to where the kneecap's at. Nice smooth line. There's no sharp breaks in this, unless she's like the She-Hulk. Again, a nice line indicator pops out where the hip is at. Kneecap. Gastrocnemius comes out through here. Nice smooth line. We have indications where the feet are going to go. Kneecap. And usually I draw like a circle like this and draw it down. So I build off that circle and bring down the gastrocnemius to where the foot's at. So with that said, that's really my workflow. I mean, besides that, you'll usually see I guess, a line for symmetry, so I can make sure one side equals the other side, and it gives it a nice flow. That is my workflow, and that's eventually what I hope to give you guys and gals. So any questions, Mr. Nelson?
Doesn't look like it. Wolf says all good here.
Hey, I like that. Guys and gals, this is a very interactive class. If I had you in my classroom, I'd throw an eraser at you and say, talk to me. But unfortunately, I cannot do that over the internet. And the only way to ask and questions, there's no such thing as a dumb question. Please ask questions. Very, very important to have that interaction. All right, so let's start here. What I did a lot of thinking. Our guys, I was talking about making 8 heads high. And my Alethians for the middle class are 9, 9.5, sometimes 10 heads high. But I went with an 8.5 head high woman right here. And the reason being, we were talking about with Mr. Ray, when the feet are all flat. If you notice these chicks here, they're on their tippy toes. And the reason we do this is to elongate all of the muscles and to give that. And nothing against short people. I have a short wife. She's like 5'4". She can look at me and scare the hell out of me. But for comic books usually, or if you're doing fashion illustration, you really want the long legs to show off your clothes. And that's what people say beauty is. Do I agree with it? No, not necessarily. Again, women are beautiful in all shapes and sizes. But for all indications right now, we're going to make them 8.5 instead of 8 heads high, 8.5, because when I draw them on their tippy toes. And I decided to break down some stuff real quick. I made a new layer here for you. And this is the interactive part, what I want you guys to do with me, okay? I'm going to use my red brush, shrink it down a little bit. Why don't you guys go ahead and make a 20 by 20 frame here by 300 DPI resolution, and we will start. I'm only giving a dramatic pause because I'm still thinking about black licorice. I have no idea why. Are you eating licorice, Mr. Nelson?
Am I eating? No.
No.
I don't actually really like black licorice.
See, most people don't, and I do, so I get the black licorice like that sucks. It's a German thing, I think. Mein Frau, mein Liebchen, mein Eve. I'm sure she likes it. All right. Again, here we go. Is everybody ready? I think so. Yes, Mr. Thimble says yes, he lives my thumb. Here we go. We are ready right now. Actually, I don't want to start with that because I always draw the base here. It's a nice round base for where the, I guess, the midsection will go. Because if I draw this here, I know I have enough room to go up, I have enough room to go down. So I start in the middle, I can build out both ways. So I start out with the midsection here. And again, nice smooth line weight. From here I build my latissimus dorsi and I throw that hip out. Now if you look from here, darn it, Mr. Nelson. From here,
I'm sorry.
That's all right. The shoulders are thrust this way. If I thrust the shoulders this way, it's very, very, very important. This will be on your test. And if you don't pass it, kittens will cry. And if they're not crying, Mr. Nelson will kick them. I've seen him kick 2 cats when I was at 3D Buzz, the Buzz Cave. And it was sad, but he did it because that's what happens when you don't draw properly. So the shoulders are going to jet from here to here. And if they're jetting this way, the hips are going to jet from here to here. It's a total opposite. And this is what we've been trained from a very small child to think what is beautiful and pretty and aesthetically pleasing. And I'm passing it along to you. So the shoulders are going to come from here to here. The deltoid, that is your shoulders from here to here. So I build from the latissimus dorsi. I get some butt, some junk in the trunk. And then again from here. And I'm really going to zoom in here. This is one of my favorite parts of the anatomy of a woman. Not only do I love the neck, but this little part where the hips meet, I like to actually jet it out like this a little bit and bring it down. It doesn't have to be that sharp, but it's a good indication where the pelvic bone is going to come from. It's nice. It's a good read. So with that, again, I make my trunk area for a woman. Now this is a dude, and I'm building my anatomy through here, shoulders, whereas stomach muscles are at. Latissimus dorsi come through here. Notice how this is more of a diamond shape, and the male anatomy area comes flat. It's straight down. This is always tilted, because from here I can build onto my latissimus dorsi, and I'm sorry, my gluteus maximus muscle through here like this. Notice how this is flat and this is shaped off to the side. And again, this is why we're working on the female anatomy last, because, well, male anatomy is a lot easier to draw, and with the female anatomy, it's nice, smooth lines. And if you look here, from this area here, the 4th head high, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 feet, or 4.5 heads from here to here. And it's only 4 heads from the midsection, 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. So we want it to be a little bit longer than the torso. That gives that illusion of the long, beautiful, graceful look. And so I'm not going to put any muscle mass in here where my kneecap's at, making a cylinder. And you know, with a dude, let me come back here, I may etch in that gastrius nemius like that. Not necessarily with a woman. It's there, we know it's there. But again, nice smooth line down to where the ankles are going to go. Nice smooth line to where the ankles are going to go. And here's the $10,000 tip for you. Whenever I draw my feet, I draw it an arch like this. And the reason I draw it, again, because it's beautiful. If I zoom in here, I can literally put straps, some cool stuff in through here. Give her kind of like stiletto stuff of a look. and then she has that support that she needs. And again, where the hips go through here, I'll build into the long, beautiful, leaning muscle back down here for we know where the gastrocnemius is at. And we may not see that spike heel unless we put it here, but she's standing on her tiptoe. So I have, let me turn this off. This layer here. No, this is much better. Okay, I need to put another layer here. Photoshop is not my forte, mind you. I'm just throwing that disclaimer out here because I just mucked up my layers, but that's all right. So I got my indication where my head's going to go, my ears go about through here. I like to split the whole face up through here. We put small indication where the eyes are going to go. The nose, kind of a triangle area through here. And then I just make a circle, build in where the lips are going to go. This comes down here to her trapezius muscles, which again, this particular female does not have huge trapezius muscles. Deltoid comes in through here. Make it nice and smooth where the arm's at. And again, I'm going from here to here is one head length long, one head length long. And again, I'm not getting caught up to where thumbs and fingers are at this point. All right. The other thing we have to talk about are breast. I remember back in the day when I was teaching anatomy and physiology to, God, what were they, like 7th grade? And again, I taught how to draw the male physiology first because I even chuckle when I say breast. Like, hee, breast, I like breast. This one kid, if this is my female, and through here like this, and I have my, bullocks. My hips, my legs coming down here like this. And sometimes I like to throw a little bit of the booty muscle in here like that. And we have the arms come through here. Just some squares right now for the hands. I'll go ahead and throw a head on her like this. And I'll highlight this in blue because I'm drawing in red at the moment. Breasts are very important because men don't have them. They have pectoral muscles, and technically females have pectoral muscles as well. But this kid who was in 7th grade, I'm walking through the class, right? He's like, how does my female look? And he drew his breast kind of down here like this. I'm like, wow, that looked great if she was my grandma. Mr. Nelson, did you not even laugh at that?
I might have chuckled on the inside.
All right, at least you chuckled the inside. Breasts are important. Breasts are teardrop shaped, kind of like this. I remember drawing image planes for a Catwoman model that I was doing when I wanted to go into movies, yada, yada, yada. And on paper it looked great, but I started modeling her. Her breasts were huge. And Candace, my wife's like, you know what? She's like, there's no way she can do flips and gymnastic stuff with breasts that big. She'll give herself black eyes. I'm like, oh, very, very poignant. So breasts need to be almost teardrop shaped, like such. And the way I get away with that is when I build my initial model through here, let me come back through here like this. And actually, let me get a different color scheme. I learned this from J. Scott Campbell, another artist I really, really respect. Now you can make the breast all the way up through here, right? If they're like a stripper with fake breasts. But if you want kind of something real, we're going to drop them down a little bit through this area through here. So I'm going to do is get my blue pen again. And when I build to the side like this, I'll build my breast in here like this, then come back down through here. Again, where my hip muscle's at. So then I have the breast where I want them, or I can replace them someplace else, maybe more like this. And this gives small indicators of where the breast we're going to go. Again, it really depends on your client, what they want, but that's important to get breast proper. So with that, let's open again for any questions before we draw it again. Does anybody have any questions?
I do not see any, no.
Okay, well, I'm going to draw this one more time. I want you to continue to follow along with me, because after I get this drawn, it will be about break time. Then I want to come back, and then I want to start talking. I want to see your work, what you've done. And I don't expect, Picasso's, Mona Lisa's, anything like that. And if I'm going too fast, it's very important for you guys and gals to let me know if I'm going too fast. No such thing as a stupid question. I do not mind going over and over again, especially drawing females. This dude named Yuri, I worked with him on this game called A Night to Remember from the Netherlands. So I'm doing my Facebook post talking about how I have to put more clothes on girls. And he's like, must be cool, and I'm paraphrasing, apparently it must be cool to be able to undress a woman with an eraser. And Mr. Yuri, yes, it is cool to undress women with an eraser. Because if you do it with your eyes and oogle and ogle, you will get slapped in the face. I'm going to make yet another layer on top of this here. So what I'm going to do is after we draw this initially, I'll take all the other layers off and we'll see what we got. Again, I hope everyone's watching and working along with me. I need to get a different pen color here. Going to hit the red. Our female, again, is going to be around 8.5 heads high. As my screen floats all around. Again, I start with the midsection. Coming through here. Now, ideally, this is where the sternum bone's going to go, okay? And that's where all the ribs start to wrap around. Now, once I get my midsection done like this, I know the deltoid shoulder muscles have to come in here through like this. So I have this done. And I will get a green for you guys and gals as well. And I know on my breasts, I don't want them super, super perky, but I want them firm. Go back to my red. And from the latissimus dorsi through here, down to where the obliques, I like to throw my little butt. I'm a butt guy too. I guess I'm an all-woman guy. Nelson, what do you find most attractive on one? What body part? You there, Mr. Nelson?
Oh, hello?
Hello, I'm asking you, what part of the female do you find most attractive and alluring, sexy?
I think I have to go with Wolf.
Like liquids.
Wolf says the brain.
Oh, Wolf. Okay, man. Right? I can... Fuck, oh, here we go. I got a brain. There you go.
All right, awesome.
And then I took it away. All right, the brain is... Seriously, I dated this chick once. Beautiful girl. Met her at a Psychedelic Furs concert. That's how old I am. Beautiful girl, but I have to agree with Wolf. It was like I could eat a bag of Doritos and have a better conversation with her. The brain is the most sexy part, but let me ask you, what body part, excluding the brain, do you like the best, Mr. Nelson? Yes, I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, it just depends. You can't judge something with just a single part. I mean, it's an ensemble.
Ooh, all right. My ensemble got to start with the neck. Love the neck, and if you notice, my girls have ankles. If they have cankles, I'm not a big fan. Okay, and I like this sort of hourglass shape. Again, because I draw comic books and girls all the time. So those are my three favorite things. Eyes, and their deltoids if they're really strong. Okay, I like everything about the female. We'll get back to drawing here. I was just giving some time for people to catch up. Started with the midsection, and you could be a politician, Nelson, the way you dodge that answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, go figure. Start with the midsection, right? Where your sternum's going to go. From the latissimus dorsi, I bring this down here to her gluteus maximus. And I'll draw through here. And remember, the shoulders are jaunting one side, and the hips are going to be jaunting on the other side. So if I draw through, I know these are the hips are going to be indicated. And the crotch area. And again, it's a nice, smooth, long, cylindrical type sort of shape. Indication where my patella, my kneecaps are going to go. And I'm not jetting out the gastrocnemius. I'm making an indication where it's there. And come down nice and smooth, and it drops off. So I can build some sort of sexy shoe. Here's a question for you, Mr. Nelson. Why do women dress up?
I'm not a psychologist.
Well,
Or a
from my
sociologist.
experience, they don't dress up for the man. They dress up for other women because they don't want to be the fat, frumpy woman in the corner. They want to always look better than the other woman. That's just my 2 cents. And back to the brain is awesome, Mr. Wolf. So coming through here, again, dropping down to the patella. That is the kneecap. All the way down here, nice and cylindrical. Indication where the gastrocnemius is at, where the foot's at. And again, if you notice, I'm not doing a lot of, like this is my leg here. I'm not doing a lot of sketchy stuff like that. Can't do that with a woman. That's why I wanted you guys and gals to learn anatomy of a male first, so then I can come back through here and then make nice smooth lines. Smooth, elongated lines are your friend when it comes to a woman. So let's go zoom in here again, because I draw a fusion comic book style where the ribs are at. I like to maybe make my brush a little bit bigger than that. Come down here to have an indication that it really pops out with hip set again. This also makes it a good read, and I'll show you why. Go with the black this time. So if I was like to ink this, coming through here like this, I can make this a little bit darker through here. And then the butt area, the gluteus maximus, always make a thicker line weight where it curves out like this. It gives it a good read. The most important, honestly, everything is important about a woman. Don't let them kid you. Don't kid yourself. If I was to draw all this stuff for the rib cage like that, you know, there are some women like that out there, granted. Hold on. But with a woman, it's almost like a violin shape. You can draw indications of where the stomach muscles are going to go, but we don't want to put all those tight abdominal muscles in there. Not super sexy. I mean, let's turn to that thing. That's great. If I'm drawing the She-Hulk or some warrior, especially if she's flexed and she's tense, I might throw some indications of where the obliques and the stomach muscle, the abdominal muscles are going to go. But otherwise, it's very much like an hourglass or a violin type shape. Again, coming up through here, the deltoid to where the elbow's at is about 1 head length long. From here to here, another head length long. And I'm going to come in through here. And we know, because the way her arm's turned, ideally this is where the tricep is going to show. And again, she's not the She-Hulk. Whenever we take our break, I'll come back and I'll draw like this muscular chick for you guys to show you where all the muscles are going to go if she was a man, woman, if that makes sense. The deltoid comes up through here, nice smooth line. This is going to jet out a little bit where the brachial muscles and the forearm muscles are at. Let's make a small square. And we can't really see the whole arm because of the breast. This is my breast line, the green line. I'm coming back in through here like this. Follow it through here. I want my clavicle in here like this. So if this, let me get a green pen so we can draw through. I really believe in drawing through for everything so you get proper proportion. This is my deltoid. So ideally, from here to here is 1 head length long. Elbows are coming through here. And then a small square like this to indicate where the hand is going to go. And then I have my face through here, my head. Let's turn all these other layers off. And that's how you build a female form, front view. And And let me get a black pen right through here. And let's do some indicators. All right. You have the strap muscles through here. Strap. You have your trapezius muscles that are through here. Your deltoids are here. This through here is your tricep. Bicep. This will come in through here, and then your brachial muscles will come through here. You have your breast through here, clavicle, their deltoid. Your brachial muscles will come in through here like this. And then I love the belly button. That's my other favorite part is the belly button, Mr. Nelson. Just gonna throw that out there. The small indicator where the pelvic bone is going to go at. And remember, it is at an angle. It's never flat. If it's flat, okay, I take it back. The only time I draw a flat, I guess, pelvic region is if I'm doing image planes. It has to be a straight-on shot. But otherwise, I need to make it interesting as an artist. I want to make it kind of off-center. I want to make it look like it flows. I believe women should flow like liquid mercury. And, yeah, I love it when they flow like liquid mercury. So with hips through here. Now, sometimes I'll draw the booty muscle, depending how where the legs are at. You can make a small indication through here. Patella. Patella. The gastrocnemius. Ideally, this is where, oops, hold on, it's a little bit too high. Where the ankle bones undergo. You have your phalanges, carpals, metacarpals. Look, I have toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the patella through here, the gastrocnemius comes in through here like this again. And that's pretty much it, the female form. So let's ask for any questions, and we'll take a break. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back and I'm going to draw some, I guess, some different angles of the female for you guys. But it's very important if you have questions, if you need me to go over everything again, I don't mind it. And this isn't going to come easy. The female form is hard. One of the first times I ever made money, I went to this convention and I set up a booth to draw people's characters for games. I'm like, this is awesome. Yeah, I can draw dudes. And then somebody came up, I want a female character. I'm like, uh-oh. Oh, crap. I was on the spot. I had to draw a female character, and it is apples and oranges. However, if you know where the triceps go on a male, they go the same place in the female. You know where the biceps and the gastrocnemius. Again, I'm not going to go into all details of all small muscles, just the major muscles in this class. But if you know the major muscles, you can draw both female and male. It just comes down to A, being stylistic or photorealistic, what you're shooting for, your goal, and then for poses. So with that, do we have any questions, Mr. Nelson?
None that I see.
Well, poop on a cracker. All right, then we will take a break. It's time to get more adult beverage. You have to potty, go for that. I personally need to do 1,000 one-finger push-ups. I didn't work out today, so I've got to catch up on that. I'm going to do that during my break. And I know Mr. Nelson's got some stuff to do, so let's take 10, and we'll be right back, all right?
Awesome.
Oh my God, I am just freaking out of breath. Seriously, I did 1,000 one-finger push-ups the entire time I was gone. A little sweaty. I'm okay. I'm okay. I stay in shape. I didn't work out today. Mr. Dusty Pants, that's Nelson, my handler from the Buzz Cave. He indicated that he ran 5 miles on his hands during break as well. So that is very good. We're both staying in shape, which is a good thing because we're both sexy beasts. And speaking of sexy beast, we're drawing female anatomy tonight. God, I love females. Can I have a hoorah, Mr. Nelson, from you?
Hoorah.
All right. Golly gee whiz. Right, so we've had a bit of a break, right? No worries about that. I hope everyone got their drink on, their potty on, where they had to do. And I'm anxious to see what everyone has done. And the way I gauge how I'm teaching, if I'm teaching too fast, is what you are doing or may not be doing at the moment. So it's very important for you to show your screen to me so I can curtail this class to you, the audience. So with that, I know Mr. Stephen Curtis, who's my best friend and my only friend in the world besides Nellie. I can't make Nellie smile, but he wants to take the screen over because Miss Bailey is there. And Bailey, if you can hear this, I love and I miss you. You're awesome, butthead. If you can take Steve Curtis's screen over, let's see what everyone has done so far tonight.
Alrighty, well, we're in Mr. Steve right now.
Oh, I'm obviously not because I'm just in the wrong
You
spot.
just didn't do it right.
I did not do it right. Steve, are you there?
I'm here, buddy.
I was like looking at my Photoshop like, all right, come on, Steve, what the hell's going on? That's not bad. This is a game art piece that I sent him. Not bad at all.
Will that work before I start color?
I will have to tell you after the color. I mean, honestly, I'll have to tell you after the color. But look at this dude's anatomy. Whoever drew this was freaking amazing.
Thank you.
Brilliant job. Inking job. Let's talk about that because this is an art class. Some of the line weight is too much similar, especially on the shoulder pads. You can tell the line weight is, again, a little bit too similar to that. Maybe that's the artist's fault for not giving good indications where things need to be, or the straps on the bottom where his belly's at, his tummy region. Anyway, but not a bad job. I like how the indication of the solid shadows. What'd you just do? Oh, that's the drawing.
That's yours.
You don't have to tell that to everybody. All right, so obviously, when go back to mine. Go back to mine. All right, so we've learned something. I need to make my pencils a little bit tighter for you. So it's my bad. It's a learning process. And for those who don't know it, okay, listen, here's the real deal. At any one given time, I'm probably working for anywhere from 2 to 3 to 5 different gaming studios and comic book places. And Steve is part of my MMO class and is really honestly one of the reasons why it's been very successful. And he was dumb enough to answer my phone call like, hey, I need help. And by the way, do you know Yuri's in our class tonight?
Really?
Yeah, Yuri, I talked to him. He's the gentleman from the Netherlands. He's like, I want to take your class. So he should be in here tonight. So with that said, I called Steve up to say, listen, I have some overflow. I just cannot handle. I've got X, Y, and Z in this project to do. Can you help me out? And I think Yuri just probably like Facebooked me. I heard that. I can't check it just yet. So I say that to say that with all of you guys and gals right now, I talk to so many people in the industry, in the business, and if I see potential and I have overflow, which I do all the time, I can very well call you up and say, hey, I need some help on X, Y, and Z, make a little bit of money, get your portfolio established, and get you some real life indications of what business is like. And it's hard. And even though Yuri is in here, I'm going to tell him I love him, but man, he was an ass. He made me work my butt off. He made Steve work his butt off. But you know what? The client is always right. And you have to understand that as an artist. You have to make the client happy. And the game that's coming out is called A Night to Remember. The animations are almost all complete. It will be for the phone applications. From what I've seen, it's stellar. It's brilliant. It's nothing like ever been done. But because Steve started talking to me and because Steve showed a passion, even though he works like 50,000 hours a week I mean, he took an entire day off to, so you took an entire day off to get backgrounds done. And it took far more than one day to do this. It was hard. But what I love about Yuri is he's not satisfied with mediocre. And I've cursed his name several times out in the hot tub at night, like, Yuri, I don't want to do it anymore. But because of people like Yuri and like myself, it's not going to be a mediocre game. It's going to be freaking stellar. And with Yuri's help, I've pushed Steve to the next level. And I say this to say everybody in this class right now, if you show indications of growth and passion, just like Wolf Knightley, man, he has come so far in such a short amount of time. And he will be, and I'm very proud to say, dropping color on the Alethian comic book that will be front and center on 3D Buzz's page. I want to pick the best people, the people with passion, the people with drive want to do this. And these two classes are kind of the catapult to do all this. So Steve, man, you have my utmost respect.
Sweet. Wolf's going to drop color? That's freaking awesome. I didn't know that.
Wolf will be dropping color. Your girl, Chelsea, she's drawing it. I think she's going to draw like 4 to 5 pages, and I'll take over 2 to 3, kind of give her a break. But, you know, we're always interested in more artists. My MMO class, we need more artists. This is an actual game that we're making. And what's great on Wednesday nights, like tonight, we're drawing female anatomy, which is great because I love the female. I love the long neck and the hair. And stop me. I need to take a cold shower and get a cigarette or something, right? But I love female anatomy. I love the figures. But with the concept class, we go into our Alethians, they have 3 fingers, 3 toes. Okay, that's the way we built them. And we screw all the hinged legs. But because on this planet there's 3s and 3s, a lot of our animals, and I want to tip the hat to my Liebchen, Eve. She's like, well, I'm making this creature with 3 toes because the Alethians are 3 toes. We really dissect everything that we make. Why does this have 3 toes? Why are these legs here? Why is this here? And this last class that we had, the MMO class, we were drawing this creature that's very important for this hive. Mr. Ray Lewis, who's a brilliant storyteller, and I love and respect him immensely. His vision that we're going to bring to life, and it's okayed. It's got the Jason Busby stamp of approval when we had our meeting. We dissect everything. Because I actually lost out on the job. I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again. I drew a brilliant spaceship, and this guy's like, well, how does it run? I'm like, well, I don't know. He's like, well, my readers are smart. They're going to want to know how it runs. I'm like, anti-gravity? He's like, too late. You told me to know how it runs. Everything has to be driven for a purpose. Everything in the concept art class. There's got to be a reason why there's 3 legs. There's got to be a reason why their legs or their arms are like this, or how many eyes. It's almost like a puzzle box that you have to do, or Pandora's box. We all know once Pandora's box is open, you cannot close that. Can I have an amen, Mr. Steve?
Amen, brother.
Amen, brother. Come on, from the mountaintop. So if you ladies and gentlemen are interested in pursuing this career, and I'm not the be-all, end-all of anything. I'm a small cog in a very big machine. But I'm willing to put myself out there for my friends and people who prove themselves to me. I'll try to help you prove yourself. And my hopes, beyond all hopes, everybody in this class right now, maybe one day you'll be my boss. Maybe one day you'll be running your own company, and you'll remember the silly bald man who wears a cowboy hat, bunny slippers, and a thong, who taught you how to draw female anatomy. Then you'll say, yeah, I'll give him a chance. I want you guys and gals to surpass me by so much. And Steve, Wolf, you guys are well on your way. Okay, enough of the sappy crap.
All right, well, I got to bail out. I just wanted to see what you thought so far, and I'll keep working.
Roger that. You tell Bailey I said hi, and tell her to email me, and tell her to shut her mouth, okay?
Almost said. All right, man. You take it easy, guys. Be good.
Right, roger that. You be good. Bye-bye. Mr. Nelson, have I told you how much I love the female form?
You may have mentioned it.
I love it. Long legs, nice neck. Anyway, I'm sorry. Come on, focus. Focus. All right, so let's take screens of people who have got other stuff besides Mr. Steve. Let's show and tell time, right?
Alrighty, hands up if you got something to show.
And the reason why it's important for show and tell, there's many, many reasons. Again, going back to the Renaissance Center days, I was working with a guy next to me named Andy Cady, love him to death. And he blew me away. He could do so much more things than I could. And there's a directions calling, use the MMB button. I swear to you, I brought my keyboard up. I looked underneath it all over. I'm like, what in the hell is the MMB button? And he's an Englishman, right? And he looks at me, deadpan as all get out. He's like, the MMB button is the middle mouse button, you twit. But I learned quickly because Jason was awesome. He's like, listen, Dave, you cannot compare yourself to him. And Andrew has been doing this for a lot longer than you have in Maya. And I want to tell you guys and gals this. When you see other people's screens, they may be better, they may be worse than you are. Everyone's potential. Cannot compare yourself to other people. Now you can drive yourself to want and to need and a passion. You can do that. But don't beat yourselves up with that, right? Right, Mr. Nelson?
Yep.
Roger that. So whose screen do we have now?
Mr. Wolf.
Wolf! I was just bragging on you. I take it you did hear it, yes?
Yes, I was here. That's awesome.
Seriously, night and day difference. I can't wait. I have plans for you, Mr. Wolf, so you keep doing your thing. And as I look at your screen right now, the first thing I saw, or was it seen, proper Queen's English? Whiskey will do that to you. Your hip bones, where you drew, yeah, exactly, right through there. It's so important that you draw through your characters because I draw 2 to 3 passes of everything that I ever draw. And you don't see that because you only see the finished product. But to get to the finished product, I have to draw through that. I'm not that good yet. There's people that are great. I'm not there yet. I will get there. I love how you have the indication of where the shoulders and the hips, they're thrusted at the different sides. Her belly, I like tight bellies. Wow. Hold on, I'm looking at my ears right now. All right, sorry about that. The legs look beautiful. I love how you gave her a little tiny tiptoes. Really well done, Wolf. Seriously, freaking night and day. Love and respect to you, my friend.
Thanks. I have this feeling that the bottom doesn't completely match up at the top. Is that true, or is that just me?
If I have to look at the female's bottom, I guess I could stare at a bit. I like how when I was talking about indicating where the hip bone is at, that's a great, brilliant read right there. She's not as elongated. You may want to bring the latissimus dorsi down to the obliques area, down a little bit more into a pinch, make it more hourglass shaped, but she still looks very athletic, very attractive. But I think that's when I'm looking at my screen on the right side, right side there, with that, there, yes, go up a bit more. That needs to maybe be pinched in a little bit more instead of out. And give her more of an hourglass shape, and then her gluteus maximus, her bottom, her lovely butt muscle. I think that's where you're seeing it's off, but there's nothing wrong with that. She's athletic. Maybe she's not elongated. There are again, women come in all shapes and sizes, all forms, like liquid mercury in movement and form. So well done, Mr. Wolf.
All right, yeah, thanks.
All right, Mr. Nelson, who's in next?
Alrighty, next victim is a Mr. Ray. If I can, there he is.
So I just got a Facebook message. I was checking on my phone. Hello, he even put the nipples in there. All right, listen. Go back to that on Mr. Ray. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Right, okay, this is the PG-13 / almost adult version. I almost have to stand up and pace for this. Before I did all this, I did personal protection, guns, Type 2 level vest, all sorts of stuff. And some of my clientele were top XXX model like people, right? And the worst thing in the world, because you put nipples there, you brought it up, Nothing wrong with nipples, nothing wrong with the female form. I love the female form. They're a little close together. You hate to see a woman have a breast job and their nipples, they look like those lizards that can rotate their eyes around and the nipples are kind of staring at each other. You don't want that. I'd like to erase it. Crazy man. Okay, the first thing I see, I need that clavicle. I need that clavicle bone in through there that attaches the deltoid. That's not bad. I bring it down a little bit lower from the breasteret. You have great latissimus dorsi. Again, she's very much elongated. But if you look at the left foot to the right foot, even though you put heels on her, they're a little bit small. But overall, seriously, I love your sketch type style to it you have. But I need you to get away from that for the moment. Because when I'm watching your brush move, I see small indicators. What I would suggest is make another layer and then put another brush on it and make long, smooth brushes to it. Again, to elongate and to make it nice and smooth. Because you have a great style, but we can see all the indicators of where you stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. And for the female, I mean, unless this is the style that your art director is wanting, the female version starts to be long and smooth.
Okay.
How you doing, Mr. Ray?
I'm doing good.
Man, I miss you. You have to come up to the Buzz Cave.
Well, I'm afraid I have this wife who probably would not want me to do that.
Well, you know what? Screw it. We're all coming to your house.
Well, as long, we have somebody might buy it tomorrow, but if they don't buy it, you're always welcome.
All right. Nelson, tell Buzz whenever he gets back, we're going to see Mr. Ray.
We can sleep about 12 people if you need to.
I have an entourage I have to bring with me. I have a midget who brings my cooler full of my liquor, and then I have my art donkey that carries all my art shit. I'm sorry, that's bad. My art stuff with him. So I have at least 2 to 3 people with me at all times. But I would love to see you. Well done. I love. She's very hourglassy. I suggest maybe bringing her bottom out a bit more on her. It'll be her left or right side. But it's an indicator there. It's really good. I love your belly button needs to be up a little bit more too. That's, yeah. Right about there. Mr. Ray, you make me smile and laugh. And I so needed to smile and laugh. You're awesome, dude. Seriously. All right, Mr. Nelson, Mr. Dusty Pants, who is our next victim?
Next victim is a Jane.
Jane said. Jane, are you there?
Hello.
I just want you to know that today I thought about you. I had the top off my Jeep and my doors off my Jeep, and Perry Farrell was screaming, Jane said. I turned that up as loud as I can in my Jeep. I thought about you and smiled. So you're in my thought.
That's good. Thanks. I heard it this week also.
Awesome. Sirius XM Lithium Radio. My favorite band of all time is Bush. I love Where the Cables Lie. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right, here we go. We're looking at your female anatomy. On it'd be the right side of the screen, right? That's beautiful.
This guy?
I'm sorry, not guy. No, she does not look like a guy. This gal. Okay, her foot.
Not her.
Her feet. No, not so much her. We'll just disregard her. X her out. For this chick right here on the right, okay, the foot needs to be a bit bigger. But her midsection,
This one.
her midsection, I love it. She's athletic, and she's not elongated like waif of a thing. Don't mind you, I do like waist. The long, lean. I could so talk about females all night. Would you like to hear it? No, never
I
mind.
have a hard time doing that long like you do there.
I'm long, and I'm strong, and I'm down to get the friction on.
Yeah, but I don't know many females long and slim like that.
I only know a
Not in
couple.
my crowd.
I only know, I think one off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, one.
I guess this is your guys' fantasies.
Wow, Mr. Nelson, can you say anything about our fantasies?
Wait, what?
But yeah, we're talking about elongated women, you know, the women that are really long, waif-looking, long legs and neck. Jane says that's her. I'm not saying it's her fantasy. I'm not saying that, you know, it's not. I'm just not going to confirm that nor deny it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's look at what you got so far. I love what you did. And I would really suggest anybody, again, Photoshop or whatever program you're using. Photoshop's got layers. And I love that you cut it all about so you can count the heads. And for a beginning artist, that's great. That's what you need to do so you can find out your stride and where everything needs to go. But man, Jane, I love that midsection because you took to heart what I was talking about for her stomach muscles. It's not like, look at me, I'm all ripped. She's beautiful. She's pretty. I like the cylinders in the arms. I'm missing the clavicle. I think if you put the clavicle in there and a little bit more indication where the breasts are at and make that foot a little bit bigger, both of them,
Okay.
you're spot on. Jane, I love what, again, you're kind of like Wolf Knightley. You have come so far in such a short amount of time from where you're at, just even last week.
But you know, the part I have trouble with is head, hands. That's what I have trouble with.
Well,
I never, like the eyes and the mouth especially, I find is hard.
well,
My mouth's they're terrible all the time.
we have some stuff going on at 3D Buzz. I can't, ow, sorry, Nelson. I won't, again, last class I told everybody that when I was down at the Buzz Cave, I woke up from a drunken stupor and I had this stitch in the back of my head, and Nelson implanted a chip. Every time I want to tell what's going on, he pushes this damn button. And I can't tell you what's going on, but I can tell you that we have a remedy for this very shortly, probably within the next month and a month and a half, that some really cool things are going to go on. And later on in this anatomy class, we will revisit eyes, lips, hands, and hair. Hair's very important. Hair's kind of like smoke, and I'm not a big smoker, but if you blow smoke in the wind, it creates all these cool patterns. And with hair, you can really have fun with it if you know the basics. And again, that's later on in some future classes. Right now, we're just, you know, concentrating on anatomy. But well done, Jane. I'm really proud of you. Seriously.
Thanks.
You're quite welcome. And the next time Perry Farrell screeches out, Jane says, I will then again smile and I will think about you.
Alrighty. Next up, we have a Mr. Miguel.
Miguel, was magst du? Miguel, where are you from, dude? You there, Miguel?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, man, where are you from? Obviously, you have an accent that's not from North Carolina.
No, I'm from Mexico City.
Holy crap, Mexico City.
Yes.
Hola, ¿qué pasa?
Hola, ¿cómo estás, Cedric?
Muy love the chicas. My accent sucks. I'm sorry.
I'm sure my accent sucks too. No, don't worry.
Whatever, man. You're speaking beautiful English compared to my poopy Mexican Spanish. I'm going to stop before I dig myself in a big hole. Anyway, first of all, I'm really looking forward to what you're making for the MMO class. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Miguel from Mexico City. He's the latest to join our MMO art team. He'll be doing creature art. Really excited to see what he has. So let's dissect what you have right now. When I'm looking at this beautiful female form, because female forms are so beautiful, as I look at the right side, her shoulders are deltoid, the arms kind of out there, kind of a crooked angle. It's like way, way out there. You may want to use your Control T tool and like flip it up or move it a bit. The indication in their legs for females, I really, for this class at the moment anyway, just get rid of them. What we're more interested in is the contour of the lines as opposed to the inner workings of the legs and the muscles.
Do you mean these ones? Or
Yeah, yes, see.
Oh, those were I just put it there to measure the head.
Oh, I gotcha. I thought you were trying to put muscles in. My bad.
No. Well, I'll just erase it.
It's all good. But it's a good female form. Very good. I see the breast. Everyone loves breast. I love the violin shape that you gave to her stomach. The crotch area looks great. It's not just a V shape. Her bottom foot on her left side, I would make that more angular instead of kind of, I mean, it is a bit of an angle, but make it more angular. Again, the style that I'm so used to that I'm teaching is the fusion American style. But otherwise, man, Miguel, muy excellent, dude.
Oh, thank you.
You're quite welcome. I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. Get your MMO class stuff done. Again, I'm proud of you. Keep it up.
Okay. Well, I will. Thank you.
All right, I think that was our last victim.
Roger that. All right, so back to my screen. Here we go. I'll move some stuff around. Isn't she hot? I love that pirate chick. Hold on, that's my flag. Sorry about that. This stuff is okay. Here we go. Let's talk about the female arm real quick, and I will make yet another layer here. Female arm. Let's get, we'll say red. Thus is rot. Bring my brush stroke up a lot. You know what, Mr. Nelson? You smelly dusty pants? I am so excited to be talking. If you can't tell, I probably said no more than 120 words all freaking day long. And it's just so nice to talk. So I'm going to keep talking.
Awesome.
So our arm, it's kind of necessity, right? So our female arm, what I try to do is throw some bands in there. If you could picture it as a 3D modeler, why is it black? I said I wanted red. Little vertices so that you can tweak and push and pull. The deltoid muscle. When her arm's coming straight out. Now we know the deltoid, this is the side version. So the inner head is on the outside, you can't see it. Middle head, inner head through here. And the bicep muscle, kind of through here. The brachial muscle that comes through here. And ideally, when we come up here, I like to do a little, maybe not much of a pinch. And for my hand, like Jane said, she's confused on hands, and no worries. Hands are very hard to draw because you have all these digits. But what I do is I break it down here like this. I know I want my thumb muscle to go, or not thumb muscle, my bone to go here. And let's trace it out like this. So this is what it looks like when it's like in like 1 or 2 passes. And ideally through here, hold on, let me do. Select Control T. It's not on the proper layer. Control T. Maybe a little bit more like that. Okay, again, disregarding all these bands and the inner and outer head, with the muscles from a woman, again, we're making nice and slender and silky and smooth. And whew, okay, here we go. We have the deltoid. After I pick my brush, deltoid that comes in through here like this. Because what happens is the breasts are come through here, the latissimus dorsi comes in through here, and the hip over this area like this. So this meets to where the shoulder muscle's at. And it's a small break, and it's very important. The brachial muscles are come at. Bicep is through here. The brachial muscles can come up through here, but it's still nice and smooth. I do a small pivot to where the ulna bone or the phalanges and carpals, metacarpals all meet up. This again, when I went up here for my indication of where my thumb muscle's at. Come up here like this. And it's really important. I draw past this line here. If you guys can, I'll zoom in. I'll draw past this here, and then I'll build my arm muscle like this. And then the fingers, it almost looks like, check this out, hold on, here we go. I'm an alligator, sort of hand, okay? That's, if you can picture that, I'm very visual, so that's what I picture. It's almost like an alligator sort of thing, right? Let me get back to red real quick. Really? I obviously just changed my eraser to red. Here we go. And I'm not drawing every finger out. I didn't do it up here, but I did give a small indicator of a finger here to give it kind of more of depth. So that's a very quick lesson on hands. Let me erase all this stuff through here. Let's get rid of the layer. That's how I did our arms. So right now I have a couple of different, well, let me go through all this stuff real quick. Did that, the barbarian, we're here, did that. Okay, flag, flag, flag. This is exactly where I want to be then. So let's do this. Let's check this chick out here. Again, I like pointed ears, so I purposely gave her a pointed ear. Have a new layer selected. And from the side view, because we should all be familiar with the muscles by now, what I'm doing is I'm drawing my rib cage through here like this for the side view, and my deltoid's going to come through here like this. And then from here to here is 1 head length long. From here to here is 1 head length long. So I will actually pick a black to go over that. The deltoid comes through here like this. And notice I'm drawing past this line just to give an indication of muscle. Coming through here because the bicep is elongated, it's not pumped up, so you're not going to see a big pump sort of thing. It's not going to be, I guess, bulky by any means. And then through here where the indications of the elbow is at, or the forearm muscles. Again, nice smooth lines come through here, and I know my deltoid is here. Now, if I wanted to, I might make my brush stroke a little bit smaller, and I could like put an indication through here where it's like really, really ripped. But we're not drawing that. We're drawing something nice, smooth, and beautiful. So I know my breasts are going to be coming through here because I know my sternum is right here because it's the bottom of where my rib cage is at. Deltoid is here. So I'll bring my breast right through here like this. And right underneath the breast, right underneath the sternum muscle or sternum bone, small indicator right through here like this. So let's turn all this off. Go to that layer. That's what we need. So right here from the deltoid to the elbow, to the forearm, the breast, and again I start out from the middle, this red area right through here. I start with the middle because I know it's going to fit on my page. So from here, what I do with my head, I know it's going to be from here to here, so I give it an eyeball length. I always start with a plane like this. I do the small indication, the V that we've gone over for the head. Bring my jawline up here. I give her a pointed ear because I love the pointed ears. Now, actually, my neck muscle needs to be about right through here because I was confused. This is just the long green hair. And then the neck muscle comes back. Oops, hold on. Neck muscle comes back through here. And where I built my rib cage, it comes right through here like this. And then because she's not super, I guess the word I'm looking for is ripped, but she has small amounts of body fat and it's sexy for the neck. I may put an indication to where that strap muscle meets. It meets right underneath the ear, comes through here. It allows your head to move to one side to the other. So from here, if I'm doing my homework like I should be, I'm going to bring this down here like this. A nice curve at your bottom. And where the rhombal muscles are going to come meeting at, this is a small indicator. And finish off where her front hips are at. Okay, let me pick a different color here. We'll pick blue again, darker blue this time. So if my shoulder muscles are through here, I know that my other shoulder muscles have got to be through here. Muscles, bones, blah, 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 blah. From here to here is one head length long. So let me pick black again. And you notice with her, we know the triceps are coming through here. This is the tricep, this area through here. It's going to kick out. The bicep, again, is not bulging because it's elongated. It's not flexed. Small indicator where her elbow's at. And then we have the forearm muscles through here. And Jane, this is for you, baby girl. You ready for this? I can see you smiling. Put down the soda. Put down your tea or beverage. For the hair. What I'm going to do with the hair is I always draw my heads first. And from here, I'm very much Disney-like. I like to draw small pieces at a time, geometric pieces. And a lot of times, instead of this little waif right here, I may draw an indication of the hair where it comes in here like this. Then draw this, a little, I guess, triangle. And if there's wind going on, you know, I can just have fun with the hair. All sorts of stuff like that. And then I bring it back on top. Because she has her hair on one side, I'll bring it down this side here like this. Then you can do all the notations and blah, 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 stuff with the hair like this. And then obviously where the blue lines are at, even with an elven ear like this, the eyes are coming through here. Eyebrows maybe arched up. And I always I anchor my nose from one of the eyebrows. And then for the lips, all I'm doing is really making a circle like this. And I'll build up from the lips like that. And we got this chick going on right here. So with that, let's ask some questions from anybody.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just looking through stuff. No, I don't see any.
Not a single question. Well, bullocks. Okay, I'm going to go through this again really quick because we're running rapidly out of time.
I do see one, but I don't really understand it. So let me go ahead and read it out.
Okay.
Visual muscles makes old. How to get details to a female character?
The female characters is very important to have the contour, the outline. The outline will say everything to it. The inner workings of lines, line with variations. Unless they're a bodybuilder, females will not have ripped abs. They will not have strong, super bulked out quads. They may have an indication of a cheekbone. But even if I was to come up, hold on, let me do this. File, new. We'll do 300 DPI. Put inches. We'll do 20 by 20, my favorite configuration. And bring my opacity down to 53%. Get a non-photo blue. And let's bring it up a little bit more. And obviously this is not a non-photo blue. Okay, so I'm drawing where my face is going to go. create a new layer on top of this. Obviously I did this too quickly without thinking everything through. Come back to here. Come back to a dark. What I want to do is follow through this at 100% opacity. My V is at right through here. Clavicle. My ear is going to come through here, like this. Small indication of the ear. Build up where my eyes at. Jim Lee made these eyes famous through here, like that. Anchoring my nose to here. And for Jane, starting with a circle for the lips. Building it up like this. We'll throw some hair out. Okay, you're talking about, indications of lines and stuff. Even the cheekbones for a woman like this, if I do this here, it makes her look old. It can make her look a little more gaunt. It can make her look more thin. But for the female face, anything to the female, any more lines you add, it really detracts. That's why it's very important to understand the contours of a woman and the form of the woman. Again, think of liquid mercury moving. It should be beautiful and steady and fierce. And again, I just dropped my pen. I may come in here for indicators of where the eyes are going to go through here. The eye ridges at, shadows for the nose, maybe a couple of things through here like this. But any lines I put through here like this, any more lines like this, she starts looking manly or old. So we definitely want to forget about that. So the less lines you can get away with in a woman form, ideally for comic books. But I also say this to say that I've seen some really beautiful old people, old women with all the lines and stories etched in their face. Those are fun to draw because you get to look at the highlights and the indicators. They really can tell a story. But for what I'm teaching, the American Infusion sort of style, you want to stay away from any lines in the face, or as few lines as possible, even in the body. I hope that answers your question. Anybody else?
Not that I see.
All right, so then what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about next week's homework. What I want is I want three female poses. Front, side, and then one go crazy with, whatever you want. And it's going to take you guys a while, and gals a while. It will, and that's okay. You can't compare yourself to me because I've been doing it for a while. I can't compare myself to other people because they've been doing it for a while. I want 3 poses of a female, full body. Remember the hands, the feet, they're going to be pointed and arched, elongated. They're going to be beautiful, pretty, and sultry. So with that, Mr. Nelson, do you have any questions?
No?
All right, then. I appreciate everybody being here tonight, very much so. I'm very much looking forward to seeing everybody's artwork. And remember, please save your artwork, all right, from the very beginning of class. So what I want to do without embarrassing anybody, I want to take screens from the very beginning of class, what you did with the female form and human form, to where we're at the end of the class, so you can see how far you've come. And the journey won't end there. Hopefully you'll continue to draw and fine out your skills. And with that said, keep your feet on the ground, your ankles slightly above them, and we'll be out of here for now. Thank you very much for attending.